Certainly, I can tell you from a government perspective, that kind of thinking is very alive. We have a particular body called Niti Aayog, which replaced the Planning Commission, and they do a lot of what other countries are doing, what are the best practices we can take, and I would say where Europe is concerned, there is a lot that Europe can offer to India, which obviously we'll have to adapt and apply to our particular circumstances. The third question, what happens if you are subject to pressure? Look, at the end of the day, there are about 200 countries in the world. Okay, some are bigger, some are smaller, some have I would say, a longer history and a sense of nationhood which is derived from that longer history. So everybody cannot be in the same position. Everybody is not in the same position. So when there is a problem, it can even be a common problem. Different countries will react to it differently because, those who have greater exposure will be more worried. Those who have deeper strengths will be more confident. Some have said, okay, I've been through tough times before, I'll handle this one. So it's a mix of different things. But your sense of, look, you called it what is cooking inside. I put it differently. I think there is a national mood. There is a national resolve in a way today. Often people in politics or people in policy positions, they are like the front end of it, but they are actually reflecting what is the national mood. So if you say, today there is a certain position taken, that position is taken because I think that is the national resolve or the national mood. So that sense is today strong that, look, we have come up the hard way, we have dealt with various challenges. It's not the first time, people have tried to pressurize us. And we need to stand. I mean, many of you would be aware in recent days, particularly in the social media, there's a lot of debate saying, how important it was to take the nuclear decision. That the nuclear gives you a lot of security and a fundamental confidence to hold your ground. I appreciate why people say it, but I want to tell you at that time, I mean, when people took that decision, it was not an easy decision to take. There was, everybody came at you. There were all sorts of pressures, sanctions on us. So, you had both the resolve to take the decision and then the fortitude to see it through and say, okay, I'll absorb the cost. I will, if there is a pain to be felt, okay, I'll take it. Now we have done that, gained something. There is a learning from that experience. Today we are bigger. I mean, we are today a $4 trillion economy. We are among the top 5 economies of the world. So our ability to stand our ground is also that much sort of longer. But you can also look at the flip side, which is, always think that if you were to actually cede ground, then, what are the consequences of that? That is also a factor. So I think the national mood today, the national resolve is very strong. And that is exhibited in the manner in which we respond to the world.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the NLC of India, it is my privilege to pose the vote of thanks. We are deeply honored and grateful to the Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, whose presence today made the occasion memorable. So we sincerely thank you for taking time out of your demanding schedule. To come for this interaction with the community and share your valuable insights. We also extend our sincere thanks to the Ambassador for for his guidance. Our heartfelt appreciation also to all the community members for their active participation. Thank you all. Jai Hind. I would now request the Honorable Minister and Ambassador to kindly come and take the seat for a group photograph.
That means you all sit there and we come.
Yes. All of you kindly be seated.
Ambassador, dear friends, let me first of all say that it's truly for me a great pleasure to meet all of you. As you know, it is our practice whenever we come to a country to, as far as possible, meet the Indian community in the course of the program. So for me, not doing so would have left this visit very incomplete. I'm very glad that this has been organized by the embassy, but more than that, I thank all of you. You have spared the time in what is no doubt a very busy part of your day today and joined us here. Now, as the ambassador mentioned, this is for me a first visit to Luxembourg. I've of course known my Luxembourgish counterparts, both Minister Bettel and earlier Minister Asselborn for many years now, but still coming here for me is something which really brings the relationship very much closer. This morning, I began my day by meeting with the Prime Minister. I then had a long, very detailed discussion with Foreign Minister Javier Bettel, and I then had the privilege of calling on His Royal Highness, the Grand Duke. So from my point of view, I must tell you that it's really been a very, very productive and a very satisfying day. I would, of course, like to talk to you a little bit about the relationship and the larger context, but before I do that, I must also share with you that at every one of these meetings, starting with the Grand Duke, with the Prime Minister, with the Foreign Minister, I heard very strong and very effusive words of praise for the Indian community. We know when you hear that in a very natural way from your counterparts and from the authorities of the country you're visiting, it really leaves you with a very good feeling. I mean, the sense that in their eyes, this is a community which has been very well integrated. It is seen as very contributive. I think our sort of way of conducting ourselves, of really, whether I suppose it's in the professional workplace or in terms of the community contributions that you make, in every sense all I heard was repeated words of praise, and I thought, first of all, I must share that with you. Now, where our relationship is concerned, it is an important relationship for a variety of reasons. One, of course, Luxembourg is at the heart of the European Union. It's a country which, because it has been there from the start, has a great influence on the Union, on the Union's decision. So at a time when we are seeking to ramp up that relationship with the EU, the support that Luxembourg can give us, the influence that it will have over the collective decision making in Brussels is really quite significant. And I was given really the fullest assurance that, as you know, we are right now in a very advanced stage of negotiating a free trade agreement. In other areas, whether it's technology, whether it's defense, connectivity, mobility, there is a lot that is happening with the European Union. But the influence of Luxembourg, and I think the goodwill of Luxembourg in support of the relationship, is something which will surely come into play, and I know that will help us make the ambassador's job also a little bit easier in Brussels. It was for me a very interesting set of discussions, because Traditionally, it's been very much an investment-centered relationship, very economic. We have a decent volume of trade. But what I heard again was a lot of interest in the changes which are taking place in India, the new capacities, the areas where in their eyes India was doing very much more and very much differently than before. And a lot of our discussions therefore were about how the digital infrastructure was working in India, how the space industry has taken off. We of course have very high respect for Luxembourg's own satellite, long-standing satellite capacities, but they were obviously also tracking us in that domain, and there were a lot of questions and interest shown in that regard.